Hi, today we will explain the present perfect. Okay, in a few words, this is verbal time that narrates events that have already occurred at a specific time or in the past, but that continue to have relevance in the present. For example, I have eaten, that is to say, yo he comido. You have eaten, that is to say, tú has comido, and he has eaten, that is to say, él ha comido. In these sentences, we can identify the present perfect structure. But now, when is the present perfect used? This verbal time expresses an action that has been performed at some undetermined point in the past that has results in the present. For example, she has made her bed. That is to say, ella ha hecho su cama. So at first, the bed has not made, but at some point in the past, we don't know when it was made. And the current result is the bed made. In the second case, he has watered the plants. That is to say, él ha regado las plantas. So at some point in the past, it isn't important when the plants have been watered. The current result is that someone has watered the plants. We have to emphasize that in the present perfect, we use have or has that an auxiliary verb. Has is used for he, she, or it, and have we use for I, you, we, and they. But you wonder what has or have means as an irregular verb. This has a relation to the verb have, and depending on the pronoun, it is how it is going to be conjugated.
If you want to say to the positive sentence, the present perfect structure is subject, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, auxiliary verb, has or have, and finally verb in past participle. For example, been. I have been to Mexico, you have been to Mexico, he has been to Mexico, she has been to Mexico, it has been to Mexico. If you want to say to the negative sentence, the present perfect structure is subject, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, auxiliary verb adding to not, have not or haven't, has not, hasn't, and finally verb in past participle, for example, been. I haven't been to Mexico or I have not been to Mexico. He hasn't been to Mexico or he has not been to Mexico. The question sentence, if you want to say to the present perfect structure, we use auxiliary verb has or have, subject, I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, and finally verb in past participle with the question mark at the end. For example, have I been to Mexico? Have you been to Mexico? Has he been to Mexico? Remember that in the case of irregular verbs, the past participle is done behaving to ed. For example, in this first speak, verb in infinity, watch and play, we add ed, watch it and play it. While for irregular verbs, you have to look at the third column of the verb descent list. Considering all of the above, we can learn how adverbs and prepositions are used in present perfect. For example, ever, never, already, yet, just, for, since. In Spanish, alguna vez, nunca, ya, ya o aún, apenas o acabar de, por y desde.
Martina Mancilla, and today I'm going to explain the adverb and preposition in the present perfect tense. Well, first we have to know that each adverb and preposition depends on the sentence. It be negative, question, or affirmative. Ever, alguna vez, in Spanish, it is used in question, after the subject and before the past participle. For example, have you ever been to Brazil? ¿Alguna vez has estado en Brasil? Or have you ever ridden a camel? ¿Alguna vez has montado un camello? In Spanish is nunca. It is used in affirmative sentences after the auxiliary have or has and before the past participle. For example, I have never seen that movie. Nunca he visto esa película. Or he has never drunk tequila. Él nunca ha bebido tequila. Already, ya in Spanish. Used in affirmative sentences to indicate that something happened earlier than expected. Is right after the auxiliary have or has and before the past participle. For example, we have already bought the book. Ya he comprado el libro o ya compré el libro. Ya or aún. In negative sentences, the meaning of this word is aún and is located at the end of the sentence. For example, she hasn't finished the homework yet. Ella aún no ha terminado la tarea. And in interrogative sentences, the meaning of this word is ya and is located at the end of the question. For example, have you written the report yet? ¿Ya has escrito el reporte o ya escribiste el reporte? Just. Apenas o acabar de. It is used to show that an action ended a few moments or minutes ago. For example, I just called her, la acabo de llamar, or they have just announced the nominees. Acaban de anunciar los nominados.
Signs and for. For and signs are used with the present perfect to indicate time. For is por. We use for to tell about a period of time. A few days, half an hour, 2 years. Example, he has studied in Dublin for 3 years. Signs is desde. We use signs to tell about a specific point in time or a time when the action started. Last year, 9 o'clock, June 8th. Example, we have learned Spanish are signs 2002. Short answers. Like other verb tense, the present perfect interrogative sentence also have their own short answers. Short answers in affirmative. Adverb is yes, subject I, you, we, you, they, with auxiliary have, and he, she, and it, with auxiliary has. Example, have you looked at the door? Yes, I have. And short answers in negative, adverb is no, subject I, you, we, you, they, with auxiliary haven't, and he, she, and it, with auxiliary hasn't. Example, has he broken the window? No, he hasn't. In simple words, the present perfect verb tense is used to express actions that took place in the past with visible results in the present. They can also refer to the same action that has happened more than once in the past or to action that started in the past but continue in the present. Affirmative structure. Subject have or has, verb in participle. Example, I have ridden a horse many times. Negative structure. Subject haven't or hasn't, verb in past participle. Example, we haven't finished our homework. An interrogative structure. Have or has, subject, verb in past participle. Example, I have you seen Joe? No, I haven't.
we are finished with the presentation, and with my friends we leave you some exercises so that you can exercise with the present perfect. 1. Put in the correct order the next sentences. 2. Complete the sentences. And 3. Complete the sentences with the correct adverb. The video, because here's come the. Thank you for listening. Write any question in the comments. Remember to subscribe to our channel and like the videos. Bye!